Welcome back to News Across Nigeria. Now, the Commissioner of Transport in Lagos State has assured citizens that the state government is doing all it can to make sure the rainy season does not hamper the free flow of traffic. The Commissioner says this has been achieved through maintenance of roads and drainage channels, which will ensure that floods pass through the proper channels with a view to any overflowing of, take the canals, for instance.
The issue of road maintenance is based on two, which is number one is actual routine maintenance, where whether it's dry season or rain season, you clean the drainages, because when the rainwater falls, it eventually goes into the drainage, and then when it goes into the drainage, the storm water eventually goes into the canal, and then from there go to the lagoon. So what Lagos State is doing is to constantly clean the drainages and the canals so that this water can flow into the lagoon all the time. But there are some times when the rain is so heavy that the drainage cannot contain it. We have done quite a lot of improvement, and this is going to be a continuous thing, and we'll continue to address it as we go further on and on.
To party politics, the governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, is calling for maturity amongst politicians and their supporters ahead of the Edo governorship elections. He made the appeal when he paid a courtesy visit to Governor Oshiomhole after supervising the APC Primaries in Edo, and he said it is necessary that politicians and their followers realize that the interest of the nation is above any political party. Governor Oshiomhole, on his part, lauded the Ebonyi State governor, saying that his gesture is one that should be emulated.
The state over the past few days has been a beehive of political activities occasioned by the conduct of governorship primaries by the two main contenders in the Edo State September 10, 2016 governorship election. The governor of Ebonyi State, who chaired the PDP electoral panel as a show of friendship, paid a visit to Edo State Governor Oshiomhole after the PDP primaries, where he admonished the politicians not to see elections as a declaration of war.
We should play politics of maturity, politics of decency, and to know that the interests of our country should come first before the party. And so you may not imagine that I just produce a candidate to confront his candidate, and here we are in the government house talking and rejoicing. And I want to pray to God that the mood we are now should go the mood of election, that whomever God wants will be the next governor of the state.
Governor Oshiomhole, on his part, commended the Ebonyi State governor for the gesture, adding that issues should drive campaigns rather than attacks on personalities.
What is at stake is not war, it's contestation, it's democracy. It doesn't happen if you don't have more than one candidate. And if there are no candidates, there is no democracy. When followers see leaders of different parties sharing jokes, they know that this is no war. It's all about persuasion, politics of ideas. So I pray that our democracy continue to grow from strength to strength, and we emphasize more on issues rather than person, and across political divide, we build friendship.
The two party leaders have set the pace, and it's expected they and their party members live up to the ideals of peaceful coexistence in the build-up to the September 10th, 2016 governorship elections in Edo State.
From politics to agriculture, the International Fund for Agricultural Development have begun supervisory activities in Anambra State, southeast Nigeria. Members of the IFAD team are visiting farmers under the Value Chain Development Program in rice production to assess the impact of the project in terms of production rate and sustainability. They were satisfied with the level of progress of farmers under the program, although fears remain over its sustainability when it ends in 2019.
Niger, Taraba, Benue, Ebonyi, Anambra and Ogun were chosen as the pilot states to grow priority crops under the IFAD Value Chain Development Program. As the program enters its second year, a supervisory team from the agency is in Anambra State, southeast Nigeria, to interact with the farmers on the successes and challenges of the Value Chain Development Program in rice production. The team meets with about 14 farmers' cooperative societies to assess how they fared in the last cropping season based on the new techniques they were taught.
The value chain introduced transplanting in another way to the farmers. And when the farmers were trained on how to transplant and the raised nursery, then we discovered that the yield increased and the farmers begin to enjoy transplanting.
After 2 years of setting up the program, there's a good report from the farmers who are in turn training the youth on agrochemical administration and improved techniques in planting.
We have been getting 1.5, 2.5 tons in a hectare. But now, like last year, because we are in cropping season now, last year, many of us got 3.5, 4.2, 4.5 tons in a hectare. And it's a big achievement.
Satisfied with the success stories, the IFAD team leader raises concerns on issues of sustainability when the project ends in 2019.
After the project, the group should have some sort of a sustainability plan. How are they going to exist without 50% of the inputs contribution, without 90% of the infrastructure development, without 70% of the equipment, etc.
After encouraging farmers to continuously share ideas and knowledge, the team, alongside Anambra State government officials, inspected the Oshiomhole rice mill and visited a rice field where the farmers are put through some of the latest best practices and methods of cropping.
So agriculture gets the last word on today's program. Thank you for watching this edition of News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay.